In today's video, we're going to be going over how to do the top-down strategy, or what I call the top-down strategy. And this is how can you break down your trades starting from the higher time frames all the way down, narrow down your levels, understand where you should be looking for your entries and exits, kind of put all that together for a nice trade or a nice setup on any stock, index, Forex pair, whatever you want. I'll break it all down today. So make sure you watch this whole video. It's great for whatever, if you're a beginner, intermediate, if you've been trading forever. You need to know how to break down the trade, higher time frames, and then smaller to have the key levels drawn out and look for your entries and exits. As always, if you like this video, learn more about the stock market, crypto, finance in general, make sure you drop a like, comment, let me know what's up, let me know what you want to see next, and as always, subscribe as well. We're going to start with ticker symbol MSFT, which is Microsoft. Everybody should know about this. Where I like to start off first is your monthly level. Now, with your monthly, weekly, and daily levels, really, you're not going to be touching them all the time. For example, the monthly level, you should only touch a few times a year. Then the weekly would probably be once or twice a month to adjust those levels. Well, let's start with the monthly. First, I would have drawn out any type of trend I see. As you can see on this monthly, I would have drawn this trend here, right? This down trend, as well as the bottom side, this downtrend. So these two levels would have been drawn out. Next up, I would have drawn out Fibonacci from the last low to the high, which would be right around here. You can see this was a little pocket, which you did get a small bounce on, but then rejected the trend. Since you broke below, and then you pushed higher. So that'll be something I would have drawn out. Currently, what I would draw out is from this low, which would be right around here, to this high. I look for this level and then have this level maybe marked out with rectangle tool. And I would have deleted it. I would also like to draw out any type of high or low that was taken out. So you can see in the monthly now, you would look at this high, close below it, so I would expect for a pullback. Now, where could the pullback potentially be? Where's the liquidity? Right, fair value gaps, monthly fair value gap, one, another one here. Now, in the weekly, I'll go here, left, weekly time frame. The weekly time frame now, I can adjust anything I need to. Is there any gaps? You guys can see there's a gap here, right? This gap here that ties in with this demand area here, right? This is where we had the fair value gap as well. Those two areas are overlapping slightly over here, so I might delete this one. I might just delete this one, so I don't want it to look too crowded. I might just drop it at a little line right there. So top of this gap, also where it was overlapping. So we're doing something around those lines. Now here we had the monthly fair value gap, but you guys can see the weekly has been touched. So what I would do in the weekly is I would get rid of the other one and just draw this level here. So from the top of this consolidation to before this candlestick. So we'll leave it at that level. Also drawing potentially this little trend line here. As you can see, price seems like it could be getting toppish here after taking out the all-time high liquidity and could be looking for pullback down here. So potentially I could look for a trade if this trend breaks. Down there weekly, this will be a swing trade, right? Something like this. And if it really does well, you could go lower and then almost real low. But it could be just an idea, and I would have all those levels drawn out and kept in mind. On the daily is where we'll get really on the nitty-gritty of the support resistance area. Okay, on the daily first, I will fix this trend. This trend really look like this, right? I will keep probably this one without worrying about those two. It will look a little more like this. Now this I will drag all the way around from here. This is the level from we have in the weekly. You can see key level here, right? Resistance now. Broke above, bounced, and higher. On the daily, I will fix. Remember, we had that fair value gap on the weekly. I would raise this to just where the daily level is, flat on right there. What I'm looking for is more potential levels of support or resistance. If we had many touches, if you really want to get down here, I could train level right here. So bounce, and a little bit of a area here. But this has bounced at least 5 times, so definitely want to keep that in mind. This is our monthly golden pocket. Maybe I'll try this right here. So it's pretty far out to just run right here. And the deal with the golden pocket is you won't really have to change it. From the exact low to the top, it's going to be the same. Now you can add in your daily golden pocket to lay this low to the high, but that will be have to adjust it pretty often. So I recommend you drawing those, adjust them whenever you're going to trade a stock for the daily and smaller time frame golden pockets. I'm going here if there's any other major level on the daily. I don't really see too much on the daily right now. You could see this level right here, 322.50. Let's see in the past. Could be a little level right here. You guys can see a little bit of support area here. 322.50. If this breaks out, can be your first partial. Look for a bounce here to then retest this and then go lower. Now for the daily, I like to jump into the hourly. In the hourly, what do you see here? And if you see it, you have 5 seconds to see it. Hope you did. All right. Looking for this major head and shoulder. Remember we're talking about, like, we took out the buy side on the monthly, so we're more feeling bearish. A pullback is needed. Now we're seeing this more time frame. Head and shoulder pattern, tend to be bearish, tend to be topish, pullback, right? Potentially. So we got this head and shoulder pattern here we're going to be looking at. So now the way I would draw this, I would maybe just kind of mark it like this. I don't want to take out too much time, but keep that in mind, right? This is the neckline. This horizontal line will be the neckline. Smaller time frames. Now I'm looking a little closer. Where are any major level in throughout? As you can see here, this purple line is already drawn. It's previous stay close. That'd be probably something that I would draw as well as resistance. Next support would be probably around 333 on the smaller time frames. Right? If you're taking a smaller trade, do that in and kinda work your way through. The areas need to be adjusted. We bring this down a little bit lower to right around right here. Right, where it's touching this all three of these major levels. Get this trend line right here. Could be potential pretty decently bounce area. So this falls off. Trend line, 4 level. Keep those in mind. So where's the last previous low to the latest high? See, I could tell just by the night. It's an experienced eye. I can tell it's right in that area too. So we get 3 areas potential bounce, right? So don't jump into the short unless you lose that level. And now, see how now the ball's rolling. We'll zoom a little more in. 50-minute time frame, right? Now the way I would delete this and maybe write a box with key area of interest. Right? Yeah, I'll draw a little box. Then you have to do whatever makes the most sense for you and how you like to look at the day. Look at it. So 50-minute time frame. I'm here, right? What do I want to see in the 50-minute? I want to see this 337.1 be dropped. I'm here. So, sorry, 36.87. This is what I want to see. Lose this level and close under it to then hit this level. Right, maybe potential butterfly here. It gets taken out. 5 minutes, right? Now the market is closed, but 5 minute, I wanted to close under this level, which I did. Potentially look for down here, right? If we close under here, potentially we go all the way down, right? And on this 5 minute time frame, I'm going to be looking. I'm scanning, I'm thinking what are different ideas. So, are the daily, monthly, weekly biases aligning with the 5 minute, 15-minute biases? In this case, yes, they are. Right, and that gets a check mark. That's good. You want the biases to line up together. Everything seems to be, if you get this 5 minute, let's say it was a bear fine, right? You lose this major level right here. That's what you're targeting. Short position. Maybe bounces and then finally breaks through. You get those bear biases, the short trades biases lining up with all the time frames. That's a positive. That's what you're going to look for. And that's how you perform a top-down analysis. Following larger time frames and make those confluences with the smaller time frames. If in 1 hour is saying bullish, 30 minutes is bearish, 5 minutes is bullish, 15 minutes is bearish. It's really hard to trade, so this is how you like keep your analysis. Hope this helps. If it does help, leave me a thumbs up down below, as always. Peace.